David Day, Vicksburg Daily News, here with Greg Bingham. Greg, if you would, tell everyone why you're running for office.
Why I am running for office is because Vicksburg, I feel like, is a diamond in the rough. It needs, and one of the slogans I was thinking about using was unlock the key city's potential. And there's so many slogans out there. I decided, no, I'm not gonna put this on banners or anything because we're just all sloganed out. But it's true. Vicksburg has so much to offer in terms of history, in terms of work opportunities that need to be improved. There are neighborhoods that are doing well. There are neighborhoods that aren't, but again, there's just so much potential here. And I'm coming from the outside, and I think I see the potential that some people may not see. And I'm doing this because I care about Vicksburg. I care about my neighbors. I have two sets of neighbors. I live up on Lovers Lane, and I'm restoring a house on Oak Street, and they're dear people that need to be heard. I don't feel like they're being heard, and the reason I'm running is because I don't feel like I was being heard, and I have to go to this length to be heard. So I think that's why I'm running.
A recent report discovered we have 343 city employees and over 500 city vehicles, with only 300 or so in operating condition. What is your opinion of that? And if elected, how will you address that?
My opinion is, I think that of everyone else, is you drive around the city and you see city vehicle after city vehicle after city vehicle. And if you look at the departments that are on these city vehicles, I was just thinking about that on the way over here today. There's right-of-way, there's traffic, there's the street department, there's community development, there's community service. I think that the city has possibly way too many departments, and every department has to have a head, and every department has to have a subhead, and then they have to have employees, and then I think you have turf wars between, that's not my job, that's such and such department's job. And so I agree with that. I think there are too many vehicles and possibly too many departments. So in terms of, what was the other question about?
If that we have
Too many employees?
we have 343 city employees, 500 vehicles, and only
Right.
300 or so in operating condition. What's
Right.
your opinion of that, and how will you address that?
Yeah. So, I think, how would I address that? One way would be doing an old-fashioned thing called doing evaluations, having job descriptions and evaluations, and making sure every job description perfectly matches what that mission of that department is. I've actually, through the open records request, I've looked at some job descriptions. They're a page and a half, and I don't think they've been updated in 2-3 years, and things change. That's how I would look at it. I would really sit down and look at what's the mission, how many people do we need to get that mission accomplished, and nothing more.
This is a multi-part question. According to a recent report, the population of Vicksburg is decreasing due to 3 reasons: the schools, a lack of housing, and crime, with crime being the main reason. The schools are improving as of last year. What will you do to improve the housing situation?
Well, this is my main interest and top of my agenda. I framed it as code enforcement, but in the last week and a half, in conversations with people that are supporting me, I think it has to be code enforcement and in conjunction with grants and getting assistance to the people that own their homes. Okay, and so the department that's responsible for both of these, code enforcement and housing, is headed by one man. And I think that those are two competing things. We need to the housing part needs to be taken and given to another head, and the code enforcement needs to be given to another head. And they both need to go at it like mad to address the issue of housing. If the housing is if there's such a shortage of houses, why are so many houses sitting around vacant and unused? And all that contributes to crime and security and things of this nature. And that's why people don't want to live here, okay? That's why they come to work here and live in Clinton. There's, I think, a great effort underway. I attended the chief of police's open house. We have a youth development group that, and this is her words, a diamond in the rough. So I think there's a whole lot going on that will address the youth situation, but we also have tourists that want to come that come in here, and what do they see? You know, they go from one historic house to another, and on the walk they pass 3 dilapidated, abandoned houses, and it's just Vicksburg can be better than that.
The second part of that question is, what will you do to reduce crime?
Okay. Again, I'm going to go back to and use the word enforcement. And I think that, first of all, let me say the men and women who dedicate their lives and put their lives on the line on a daily basis, God bless them, and you know, thank you, all of you, for your service. And I know that your jobs are you're super busy, and you're focusing on these big items. But then I think there's some small things that fall through the cracks. And as my dad always says, if you focus on the pennies, the dollars take care of themselves. And I think if you would potentially focus on some smaller things, I think that the larger crimes may take care of themselves. I'm thinking, okay, I've had some experience with fireworks, okay? I think that's prohibited within the city. And when you call the Vicksburg Police Department about that on 4th of July or New Year's Eve, okay, they weren't exactly, they didn't come out. And maybe that, if they had come out, maybe they could have pulled somebody off the street for drunken driving. Or something of that nature. But I think it's getting back to basics. It's getting back to enforcing all the laws. I'll stop there.
Would you support an across-the-board $15,000 a year increase for non-ranked officers? And if so, how would you pay for it?
I don't know that I would. I think that I would try and tie the pay increases to some type of productivity or some kind of statistics or analysis. That's not to say that I clearly working in the police department or the fire department or the EMS, it's a calling, and but are they worth it? Yes, but I don't think I would just blindly throw more money at the at the situation.
The mayor and aldermen in Vicksburg are among the highest paid in the state. If elected, will you support an immediate 50% reduction in pay for the mayor and aldermen and an elimination of support staff to one administrator for all three?
On that issue, I do think that the amount of compensation that the aldermen and the mayor are making is above what the city of Vicksburg can afford. Would I call for a 50% pay cut? I don't know. I would have to think about that. But what I have been advised to stay away from the whole issue of whether or not we need a change in the form of government, whether or not that should be a city manager and all that. And I was advised not to address that. And I haven't put it in my platform, but I'll just say that maybe I am going to put it in my platform because I don't feel like the city, the alderman and the mayor have the administrative skills to hold their staffs, to hold their employees accountable. Again, I'm going back to job descriptions, job evaluations, tying pay to job performance, and I don't think that paying as much as we're paying for the alderman and the mayor, we're not getting proper. The administration is not properly run. That's my issue. So if bringing in a city manager is what needs to happen, then I'm okay with that. And if that makes Mayor Flaggs upset, if that ruins my relationship with my Alex Mansour, I'm kind of okay with that.
Well, the next question is, there's a push among the citizenry to change our form of government to a council city manager form of government. Changing to that form of government will remove the power from politicians to a professional city manager. Will you support that change in nature? And will you support a change of that nature? And if elected, will you work to change to that form of government? You sort of answered that question, but go ahead.
Yes. Like I said, yes, I would. I think is Vicksburg one of 2 or 3 cities that still have this commission-style government? And I've talked with other candidates and about this issue, and some of the other candidates they don't think that the commission, or they say that the commission form of government is not broken, so let's not fix it. Well, I kind of think it is broken. Now, if I'm open to keeping the current commission style, if you can get some people in there that have the administrative skills to get the job done. But to me, it's broken. So I think we need to consider it, and depending on how this next election, the election for this position goes, I think it depending on how it goes, I think it's going to be a referendum on the whole of city government, not just Ward 1. I think it's going to be a referendum.
The street committee is saying that the Ward 2 alderman is not going to be reelected on the next election because he is nothing but a yes man for Mayor Flaggs. If elected, are you planning on being the mayor's new yes man?
No, and I think I've covered that already. I've only sat in a couple of the board meetings, but the ones that I've sat in, I was really shocked that and I don't know, perhaps you have statistics on this in terms of what are the votes? Is it always 3 that vote? It seems to me that it's, everyone agrees across the board. I don't think I've heard anyone stand up and say, no, I'm not gonna do this. So yeah.
What else do the voters need to hear from you about you?
Okay. What they need to hear is that I have a new viewpoint. I know that my friend TJ has as one of his slogans that he is progressive. I would not describe myself as progressive. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I'm like, let's have job descriptions, and I don't know if a progressive, I don't know what they're teaching in schools now, but when I was in school in the 80s, we had a head and a staff and all that, and I think now things are like, well, we'll do this as a committee and all that. So am I progressive in that respect? No, I'm not. I'm old-fashioned, but I have a new perspective coming from the outside and seeing what other historic and old towns have done. And I think that sets me apart from everyone. I think everyone else has been here in Vicksburg for a long time, and I'm sure they love Vicksburg as much as I do. But I don't think any of them have an outsider's perspective. And I'd also just say that I'm almost 60. I think that I have a level of maturity and will be able to stand up to Mayor Flaggs and Alderman Mansour. And I can say no, and I plan on voting no. Will that hold the system up? I'm not sure. I'll have to see. But that's and the other thing that TJ has in his slogan is accessible, and he is accessible. He and I have talked, okay? I can't say that about Mansour. I've had a couple meetings with Mayor Flaggs, and I don't know that I was heard. I wasn't heard, that's why I'm here. And I'll just say this, of all the folks that are running, I like TJ, and I'm a competitor with him right now, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to win for the people of Vicksburg. But if something happens, well, obviously I think there's going to be a runoff. Of all the people, if I don't make it to the next election, I think that TJ has a great heart and a great resume, and I need to be quiet because now I'm talking about my competitor way too much.
Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you.